I'm just going to mute myself for now.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Raquell Jones. I am the president of the Bakersfield Ivy Legacy Foundation.
All right. Well, good
I'm
evening,
also
everyone. My name
echoing
is
myself, which I'm
Raquell
going
Jones.
to
I
stop the
am
echo. How about
the
that?
president.
The magic of technology.
Right.
I also serve this year. The Bakersfield Ivy Legacy Foundation, again, is partnering with the local chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated to present the 40, I think it's 45 or 46 annual African American Awards program. And we are pleased to be in partnership to do that, to help to provide scholarship. Another function that I have with that collaboration is to serve on the community donor committee. So we are gathered here today, friends, to talk about that and answer questions and give some clarity to you generous community donors, to allow you the opportunity to partner with us and get these kids some scholarship monies. So with me, I have our first vice president, and she's the first vice president of the chapter and the only vice president of the foundation, Mrs. Kalisha McCabe.
Good evening, everyone. I am, as Raquel stated, Kalisha McCabe. I am the first vice president of the Kappa Omega Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, as well as the VP, with a great leader, may I say, of the Bakersfield Ivy Legacy Foundation Incorporated. I'm glad to be here.
And we also have our second vice president of the chapter, Michelle Shannon.
Yep, that's me. Hello, I am Michelle Shannon, and I am, as Raquel stated, I am the second vice president of the local chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Kappa Omega Omega, and I also get to serve on the Community Donors Committee. So we're here to answer some questions, and I'm excited to be here. So let's get this party started.
Woohoo! That's right. So, I'm up. I guess I should read what I'm supposed to do. So, first, we just want to get a little clarity about the annual African American Awards program. So, Kalisha,
I'll start off with the questioning, ma'am.
Oh,
all right, Ms. Raquel, could you please tell our audience what is the annual African American Awards program?
Well, that ain't what we said in the script, but that's okay. The annual African American Awards program was established in 1980 by our local chapter here. One of our charter members, Wanda Bradford, noticed that our graduating African American seniors weren't necessarily always acknowledged or celebrated. So she had the wonderful idea to develop a program where we would do just that. And between you, me, and Michelle, and anybody else who's watching, we weren't even able to give scholarships at that time. We literally just wanted to take time to celebrate the students. We didn't necessarily have the funds then, but fortunately we have grown and we have the funds now. So it's a program, again, annually, where we acknowledge those African-American graduating students. In 2015, the chapter was able to partner with the foundation so that we could, because we clearly give money now, and the chapter was giving money before partnering with the foundation, but with the partnership of the foundation, we were able to increase the amount.
It's such a blessing.
Blessing. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And the cool thing is, this year we started out the program hoping to award $10,000 in scholarships, and right now we currently have over $15,000 that we are going to award to deserving seniors, those who apply for the scholarships.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we, in the, back in the day when the chapter, started awarding scholarships, we just had a little bit of money. So we give like $50 scholarships or $100 scholarships, but now we can give more substantial $2,500, $1,500 scholarships. So thank you
We've
to
really grown. Yeah, it's awesome.
Mhm.
You want to go ahead and continue with that?
So why does the program exist, Raquel? Well, the program exists.
I'll jump in. Let me jump in. The program exists, as Raquel stated before, because there was a lack of acknowledgement, recognition, and awarding of scholarships to our students here in the Kern High School District. So through this program and the donations given to us by the community, as well as memorial scholarships, we are able to provide money for these students who have spent their entire 4 years, actually prior to that, their 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade years trying to develop themselves into very well-rounded students, because not only do we look at the GPA, but we also look at the other things that they've done within the community. So our goal is to award as much money as possible to as many African-American students as we can.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Love
I'll
it.
also interject that the program itself has really blossomed in terms of the mayor will come and acknowledge the students. Our county superintendent regularly comes and acknowledges the students. That our Kern High School District, yes, Brian, you see us with these jackets, and someday you might get a jacket, but we're not going to talk about that right now, Dr. Schaefer. Our high school superintendent comes, and many of the superintendents of our feeder districts, I happen to be an employee of Kern High School District, so I'll acknowledge them as our feeder districts. Those superintendents come because they want to also celebrate these students now and acknowledge them. So we're so thankful and proud of how the program has gone.
Very heartwarming to see them in attendance.
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, one of the most exciting things for me, being a previous middle school teacher, was on the other end of the program. We do bring in 8th grade honor students, and they get recognition on the same night for being honor roll students and having shown that they've done a great job through 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. In addition to that, while they're there receiving their honors and their recognition, they get to see what happens at the end of their 4 years in high school, that they can be recognized again. And this time, not just with a little trinket and a certificate, but money, which as a graduating senior is exceptionally important to have. So having the 8th grade honorees there along with our scholarship recipients is one of the highlights of what highlights for me.
Shoot.
That's okay. So, let me go back over here. So, one last question, Kalisha. So when is the program?
I'm going to say this is a very special date. April 11th, 2023, not only is the date of our grad awards program, it's also the birthday of my oldest son. So the day I became a mother, I'm going to be celebrating other parents as we celebrate their children receiving the honors and also receiving scholarship money to help them in the future. So April 11th, 2023 is going to be the date for our grad awards program.
Awesome.
What did you say the time? What time?
6 p.m.
Yes.
You got it. Ding, ding, ding.
Exactly. You're the winner.
I will be there early because
Yes.
Raquel and I are both going to work on being there early.
Exactly.
We got you. We got you. Don't worry.
Is it okay if I ask you all a few questions?
Sure.
All right, let's start with Ms. Raquel, the president of the foundation. We spoke about, you mentioned briefly a community donor, and I spoke about the memorial scholarship donor. Tell us what a community donor is.
So the foundation has opened up to the public an opportunity to offer scholarships to students. And we do that in two ways that we're here to talk about today. There's actually three, and I'll talk about the third one maybe at the end. But the two ways are the community can give a memorial scholarship, or they can give a community award, and they can decide which works best for them.
Wow. So they can give a memorial scholarship or just a general community award. What about when it comes to the community donor options? What are their criteria? Are there any criteria that they have, that we have, or that they set? How does that work?
So for a memorial scholarship, those that have been with us for a while may have remember option A, a memorial scholarship option A. They donate their scholarship monies to the foundation. And they also, with that donation, they tell us what criteria they want us to use to select the scholarship recipient. And then so the scholarship committee that is made up of chapter members and foundation members, they will use that criteria to select from all the applications that we receive. They'll select a recipient from those applications and then donate that money that was donated to the students. And then for a community award, or the option B, community awards are given by those who already selected their students and they gave the money directly to the students. But we want just to take time to, again, celebrate those students at this program as well. For instance, some of the Divine Nine or the other NPHC. NPHC stands for National Pan-Hellenic Council, and those are other Black Greek organizations. So like Delta Sigma Theta or Sigma Gamma Rho or Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity, they will come to our program with their scholarship recipients, and we will celebrate those students again. So the community, the mayor, those superintendents, and the other parents that are there, and the other students that are there can hear about the accomplishments of those students, and just to see, in person what's possible. But, it adds to the celebration when these community donors give us the opportunity to acknowledge the people that they award monies to at our program.
Wow, that is awesome. So they get recognized with these particular groups and then they get recognized again.
Correct.
Nice, very nice. How do I, if I'm a high school student, I'm graduating, I'm ready to, jump out into the real world and I want some money to give me a nice little start there. How do I apply? How do I, as somebody who wants to help that student, how do I apply to become a community donor?
Okay. So if you want to, if you don't know students, you don't have access to students, you're not sure what student you want to award, and you want our scholarship committee to decide, you would choose the Memorial Scholarship option A. You would go to gradawards.org online, and you would click Memorial Scholarship. And there you would make the payment, and there you would tell the criteria. If you know who you want to award, you're giving the money directly to that student, and you're going to be a community awards presenter, you would complete the form. In the chat here, you can put your email address and we can email the form to you, or if you want to put your mailing address, we can mail the form to you. Or you can also go to gradawards.org and look for the community donor application form, complete that form and fill it out. And that's how you can apply to give a community award. Both the Memorial Scholarship donation and information and the community awards names and information, they're both due by March 1st.
Okay. And you also mentioned, I'm glad that you said that, because I kept thinking I have to be a memorial scholarship donor. I can just start one like in my name. I want the Kalisha McCabe scholarship. That's just it. It doesn't have to be in memory of someone, but it can be, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
It does not have to be in memory of someone. You could, it could be a living scholarship.
Okay. And when I make
It's still a memorial, it's a memory, it's, memorializing your greatness.
I'm not ready for that, but yeah, I got you. So you mentioned also that they can do the application online. They can also pay online, correct?
Correct. Correct. I think, yes. When you click memorial.
Well, since we're off script.
I know, right? Let's go. Let's go.
No, I was referring to number 3.
Oh,
You're still on number 3?
No,
oh,
it's okay though. We can go ahead. So Michelle,
No.
start with this one. What if I do want to be a community donor and I want to donate to the foundation a scholarship for a student that I already know that I want to award? Is that acceptable?
It definitely is acceptable. So if you have a student in mind that you want to award a scholarship to, then what you would do is you would select community donor option B. Okay, you would fill out that form. All right, and you would turn in that form and the student's name to us by the March 1st deadline. You would be awarding the monies to that directly to that student. You would also need to contact that student and remind that student to attend the award ceremony held on, what's the date? Yes, April 11th, 2023. At what time? 6
p.m. but 5:30.
Right. 5 o'clock for some of us. Okay. But go time is 6 p.m. Definitely.
What's the deadline again for the money? So the program is the 11th of April and the money?
Yeah. The money in the form, the form is due by March 1st. So the community donor form is due by March 1st.
All right. And then back to the other question. What forms of payment does the foundation accept for memorial scholarship donations?
Okay, one thing that's awesome about what we have going on is we make it completely easy for you to donate your monies. Okay, so what you do is go to gradawards.org, start there. Once there, you click on Memorial Fund. Okay, so click on there. Once there, you have the option of paying, get this, PayPal. You can do Apple Pay. We take Google Pay. And you can also do a credit card payment right there online. What if you don't want to do any of those methods? And you're
like payments.
Exactly. I'm old school. I still write a check. Okay. No worries. We have something for that as well. So when you fill out your form, your community donor form, you've selected option B. After you do that, you're going to attach your check and you're going to go ahead and mail both of those things in to the address on the form, and then you're good to go. Okay. So you're going to get the community donor form. You're going to fill that out, write your check out, and then send both of those items to the address on the form. Okay. All right.
So I am a fiscally responsible person, and it is around tax season time. And I would like to know, if I take my money and I make a donation and I sponsor a scholarship, or I just make a donation in general, is my donation tax deductible?
So your donation is absolutely tax deductible. So it's so awesome because you can help a student, bless a student with monies to further their education, right? Post high school. And you also get the benefit of a tax deduction to the fullest extent that the tax law allows. So honestly, it's a win-win situation. So yeah.
I love that. I have questions for both of you. I want to make sure I have this clear. The website, www.gradawards.org.
Correct.
The date of the event is
April 11th, 2023.
At 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
And the deadline for me as a community donor for the generous scholarship that I'm going to make is March 1st.
You got it. You were paying attention.
Gold star.
You get a gold. Yeah,
Getting that gold star.
you get a gold
Excellent.
star and a firecracker. Whoop.
That's awesome. And so we are very much looking forward to community donors make a great impact. As Kalisha mentioned at the top of this, that this year we're planning the sorority and the foundation will award $15,000. But historically, community donors come in and they add another $5,000 to $7,000, depending on who gives. But $5,000 to $7,000 in scholarship opportunities for students. So we wind up, awarding $20,000 or more. But that's because of what community donors give specifically with those memorial scholarships. When we welcome the community awards, those people who are giving the monies directly to students, we don't necessarily count the dollars. Well, not necessarily. We do not count the dollars in our reporting of that $20,000 because we're not giving that money. It's
Right.
these other organizations who are giving. So in the celebration of the whole program, there's much more monies that are given. But fortunately, the community is generous. We already have the $15,000 waiting to award, but we need students to apply. That application is due February 24th. So that's this Friday. And if you know a high school student in Kern County that's graduating, an African-American student that's graduating, help them to apply and apply by the deadline so that we can award them some monies.
Yes.
We have seen over these years, I've been on the committee a long time. Both of you have worked on the committee. But I've seen the GPAs of our applicants. They're just phenomenal. The students
so
really
awesome.
are doing excellent academic work. So it's another celebration of academic excellence. So we do have several applicants in the 4.0, 4.5, but we also have award recipients, 2.5. We want our community donors in particular, some want to highlight those students who maybe made a turn. Maybe they were struggling really bad at the beginning, had a very poor GPA, but they pulled it out and they graduated, towards the end of their high school career. So don't think that your GPA would preclude you from getting an award. Apply. Grandparents, sadly, I guess I'll go ahead and say, some of these kids could be my grandchildren. So I would be a grandparent trying to help my student apply.
Not quite.
Please,
Almost.
Close.
Not quite.
Right. But if you know of a friend who has a graduating African-American high school student, help them apply. And it is in just a few days. They should be talking to their counselor now to get their transcripts ready. Write a letter of recommendation. It doesn't have to be a long, wieldy 2-page, 5-page. Please don't send us 5 pages of stuff to read. But just give a shout out to the student as that could be the letter of recommendation. So help the students apply. We've got the money. We need applicants as well. Okay. So before we go, I'll just show everybody again, or show people the website and how it's navigable. And while I do that, anything that I miss, fellow presenters?
Well, one thing we didn't really, I'm not sure we exactly said it or not. When you do become a community donor, if you're giving a scholarship and you give your criteria, if you're in a certain career, or let's say you wanted to pursue a certain career and you didn't have the opportunity to, you can specify that this particular scholarship is for someone who wants to be a nurse. This is for a student who wants to go to medical school. This is for a student who wants to be a teacher, maybe something that you didn't have the chance to fulfill because of whatever, circumstances were there. You can provide that opportunity for someone else. So you can give very detailed information on what you want the scholarship, who you want the scholarship to be awarded to.
That's right. That's right. So again, when you want to give online as a memorial scholarship, you would go to gradawards.org, and it takes you to this page. Here, of course, we're talking about students applying. That's the first thing you see. You can tell them to click here, and they can apply right online. They don't have to, print anything and write anything. They could apply online. And if they're going to apply online, they can click there and go through the application process. If they don't want to apply online, they can click here, download the application, fill it out, and follow the instructions to submit the application there. And for those community donor people who want to give a memorial scholarship, like Michelle was saying, you would come here, scroll down, and click memorial scholarship.
There it is.
Yep, click on Miss Dr. Gales, and and when you click on Dr. Gales, she'll take you to, you would select the amount that you're going to give. You would check the criteria. Is it grade point average, financial need? You would give, if there's any other additional criteria,
it goes right there.
Kalisha would say, I want a nursing student or whatever, you would hit it here. Give us the name of your scholarship. It's the Michelle Greatness Memorial Scholarship. That's where that is.
Oh, I love that.
Listed. Give us a little narrative. How are we going to introduce that scholarship? Michelle, she's been great, for
like
these
her whole life.
Exactly. And that narrative goes there. And then you give the name for the charge to the credit card, email address. And I happen to be an Apple person, so I've got Apple Pay available right there. But
was there a spot, Raquel, was there a spot up there to say the GPA range?
Yes, if you have a specific, not only if you want us to look at the GPA, you would of course click there.
Okay.
And then if it's a specific range of GPA, you would talk about it here, please look at, 2.0 or whatever.
Nice. Thank you.
That's excellent. So that is for, again, memorial scholarship donors. And the third way I mentioned at the beginning, you could, if you don't, want to do a memorial award, you just want to increase the scholarship fund in general so that we have a little more than $15,000 to give. If you click scholarship fund and make a donation by March 1st, we will be able to increase the amount, that $15,000. It would just increase our general scholarship fund.
That's a good point too.
And then again, those community awards, if you know who you are specifically giving the monies to, here is the link for the community donor application form. You would click here, download it. And if you wanted to give your memorial scholarship by mailing a check, you would use the form there. And of course, if you are a community awards person where you have selected the person already, that's the form that you would use as well. So that is that. There was something else I was going to say, but I can't remember, but it's okay. I think that's great. And I don't think I saw any, let me stop sharing. I don't think I saw any questions in our in the chat right now, which is fine because it's a video. When you're watching it later, if you've got questions, you can definitely, put your question there, and we will still be monitoring the feed and answering the question.
I had a question.
Yeah.
So if I'm a community donor and I have a criteria that I want my recipient to meet, like let's say I love the arts and I want to have participated in the arts during their high school career. Let's go with dance. And what if I am unable as a community donor to find a student? Alpha Kappa Alpha or Bakersfield Ivy Legacy Foundation, would they then pick the recipient for me?
We could. Hopefully, a student interested in dance would have filled out an application. So we don't necessarily, well, we're inviting all graduating African American seniors to apply. That includes some dancers too. So if that dancer happened to put in an application, we would be able to select that person per your criteria. So if you have given and looking and told us to look for a dancer, but there were no dancers who applied this year, we typically hold that over to the next year and look for dancers at in the next year.
Oh, thank you.
And or either that or it goes to our general giving fund where it will go to a scholarship recipient in the next year with whatever criteria is there.
Okay, perfect.
Your monies it's a 100% volunteer organization. No monies ever go to pay salaries for anyone. We don't pay consultants for this. 100% of your memorial scholarship donation goes to a scholarship. If you give $500, it's a $500 scholarship that's given.
Love it. Thank you.
And if you had criteria that said, I want to award a college person, this year, we don't necessarily have an application that's open to college recipients, but we are very much looking forward to growing our fund and hopefully in the next year, allow some awards for college students. When you go to our website, you'll notice we have some legacy scholarships for Don Hicks, for Camila Okafor, and today we announced a scholarship for Keith McKnight. Those are legacy scholarships, and you'll notice that the family of Mr. McKnight listed the criteria that they wanted. And some of the criteria said it could be open to a college student. So we know that in the very near future, we will open up a scholarship application for college students. So we are one step closer to doing that more and more, awarding not only high school seniors, but college students. So if you are a community awards person where you're giving the money right now this year to a student and you happen to be giving the money to a college student, you can still fill out the form and we will acknowledge that student at this year's grad awards. But that for this year, we're acknowledging college students only if it's a community awards where the person is personally giving the money to the student.
Yeah.
Next year, we're looking forward to us giving money to college students.
That'd be awesome to add that piece. Now, I heard you say something. I heard you say legacy. Like, can you explain what that means?
So, a legacy scholarship is a little more involved. If a family wants to memorialize, and what we have experienced is they're memorializing a loved one who has passed, and they have monies already ready to give in memory of that person, and they want it to be a perpetual scholarship. So not just 1 year, but year after year.
And a year after year, it lives on.
Mm-hmm. We will, on our website, we'll have a little more, it's not fully
more
detail, but if you already have the money and you want it to be perpetual, email us, talk to us, and we can outline that. But it's a matter of, you have at least $500 and you, of course, have some criteria of what you want to award.
It sounds special. So I just want you to explain a little bit more. Thank you for that. That's awesome.
You're welcome. And I do want to just point out too, I know we've talked longer than we wanted to, but so we mentioned the Don Hicks and the Camila. So not only do we have this $15,000 in our general scholarship to give, but we've got a large dollar amount to give in the Camila Okafor Award and the Don Hicks Award. So those are also above the 15,000. So we've got, that little section, and then we've got community donors. So apply. There are
Yes.
specific criteria for Camila, like you need to be a writer and you need to submit an example story. And then for Dawn, you need to be interested in music, and you probably want to go to BC. So if that's you, apply, and you could possibly be awarded a Don Hicks or Camila Okafor scholarship.
Wow. I know
Lots of opportunity.
I mean, that's what I was going to say. I know we've gone over, but so much great information here and so much opportunity. That's what I was like feeling so excited about. There's a lot of opportunity for our graduating African American seniors to get monies to help them along in their scholastic endeavors. And as Raquel talked about, from where we started with this program to where we are now is just a tremendous story in our commitment and our desire to give back to our African American students. So I know we went longer, ladies, but this was amazing.
That's true. And we're looking to inspire. So, and that, that start was the vision of it. And I'm sure you, Michelle, I was a recipient of a scholarship. We're just continuing the vision, and we are fully expecting these students that we award to continue a vision. Maybe they may not be a part of Alpha Kappa Alpha, but we fully expect them to, continue contributing to the community. The only way we're gonna get through these crazy times is to continue good work. And a lot of students are doing the good work. So come on, apply, partner, and let's push you forward in that good work.
Do this. All right.
Sorry, Miss McCabe. I just talking. You didn't get to say nothing else.
So it's okay. You covered everything. So and then some.
And then some. Okay.
Right.
So what a treat. You got all you're supposed to get and extra.
Like some dessert. Well, we are very appreciative of your time, public, and we look forward to partnering with you to impact students and education in Kern County. So thank you, and good night.
Good night.
Good night.